Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for joining. Hope you had a wonderful Gaur Purnima celebrations. Typically, we try to plan the celebrations, the katha and kirtan and everything before the actual day, actual festival. So everybody's pumped up for the day. But this time we were out of town, and seems like many devotees are not able to join today. But regardless, let's get started. Let's say some prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापत्कमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं सतं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णापादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वर। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So I don't think I'm going to tell you anything new that you don't already know, but I have some things here from Srimad Bhagavatam and a lot of verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I think you will relish that. Because sometimes we know these concepts, but we don't know where the concepts come from, where the principles come from. So I think you will relish the references from the scriptures. So let's say some prayers for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are some of the prayers for Mahaprabhu and his associates, the Panch Tattvas. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita. Everyone can say together. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. पंचतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपा स्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमापदिव्याच विसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेमरसाप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। O Sri Chaitanya Chandra, I offer you my repeated obeisances. You are the personification of Krishna's blissful pastimes and you are extraordinarily beautiful, having a dazzling golden luster. You have awarded to the people of the world the topmost mellows of ecstatic love for Krishna. Let's do one more prayer, one last prayer. This comes from Chaitanya Bhagavat. अजानुलम्बिता भुजौ कनकावधातौ सङ्कीर्तनैकापितरौ कमलयाताक्षौ विश्वाम्बरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रिया करुणावतारौ. So I will not read this. Please feel free to read this. This is the first verse of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So you're all familiar with Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? We will hear about that a little bit today. And Chaitanya Bhagavat, who wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat? Who can tell me? Vrindavan Das Thakur. And who wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Kaviraj.
Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Okay, I will not ask anymore. Guru Chaitanya Mangal. There are so many. So many, great acharyas, great associates, great disciples of Mahaprabhu have written his biographies, have compiled the sweet pastimes, and that's the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I think not everybody may be very familiar with his pastimes. Like they are, I sometimes feel that we call Lord Ram Maryada Purushottam, right? He's the ideal gentleman, but so is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you read his Leelas, his pastimes, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, you see his perfect conduct, his perfect character, his perfect etiquettes. He actually wanted his disciples to establish the perfect Vaishnav conduct, Vaishnav Sadachar, the conduct especially of a sannyasi, of a renunciate. And then how to deal with people that have money, people that have no money, people that are educated, that are not educated, there are grastas, there are renunciates. He knew how to deal with each and every person. So he was like the perfect ideal gentleman. And then his pastimes are also simultaneously as sweet and playful as Krishna's. And sometimes he gets really in that, not many times, but in this, anger or Raudra Roop when his devotees are being attacked, or when Mayavad is being presented, especially by his devotees, or when he thinks that his disciples are, not behaving perfectly, like their conduct is not as per his standard. So then he does chastise them. He does offer correction, and he can be very stern and serious then. So we see all kinds of moods in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. But before then, I'm going to start with a little bit with Bhagavad Gita, okay? Because I know we have some newcomers. I don't know, Mataji and Prabhuji, how much you're familiar with Mahaprabhu's Leelas, but hopefully you get a beginning level understanding of why Mahaprabhu came, what is his mood, his mission, his mercy, his why is he called the most magnanimous, most munificent, most merciful incarnation? Like what is why is he called that? So let's backtrack from Bhagavad Gita. So, I was just thinking about how the environment is these days in the world. There is so much uncertainty, so much difficulties, conflicts going on, right? Wars and terrorism and whatnot. And Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 15. He says, Mameva mamshu jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana mana shashtani indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. Please feel free to recite these verses if you know from Bhagavad Gita especially. So Krishna says that there is a struggle for existence in this world. We are all these living entities are my parts and parcels, but somehow they have come to this world. They have accepted this body, this gross body and subtle body, and now they're struggling with it. They're struggling so hard with their senses and with their mind, right? What is the need for the struggle? You do not belong to this world. Why are you here? This is not your original destination. This is not your natural position. So he says in that same chapter, actually chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita, opens with this understanding that this world is a perverted reflection of the actual world. Our actual position, our actual home is spiritual world, and I can just grab it, I think. And we have just so we are just chasing shadows, we are just chasing reflection. But can you enjoy the fruits, the flowers, the can you have shade from a reflection? Can the tree give you any reflection of the tree give you any fruits, flowers, any aroma, any shade, any kind of comfort, any kind of satisfaction? No, right? But you're still chasing that reflection, you're chasing that shadow where you do not belong, and you're trying so hard to get some enjoyment, some happiness out of that reflection, out of that illusion, which is not your real place. So he says, your real place is actually with me. You belong with me. That is called Paramgati. He keeps saying Paramgati, right? Paramamgati, Paramgati, come back to me. He keeps inviting us back to him in Bhagavad Gita. So he says that instead of absorbing yourself in these shadows, in this reflection, absorb yourself in my pastimes. Think about me, dwell on me, think about my activities, my qualities, my name, form, pastimes. Not this world, not the events of this world, not the people of this world, the celebrities, the wars, and all the news and all the things going on in this world. Don't absorb so much in that, right? So he says, right, Janm karam cha me divyam evam yoveti tatvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naeti mameti. So Arjuna. So he says that don't this is not your place. Your place is with me, and if you absorb yourself in me, then you will come back to me. You will never get this body again. Otherwise, if you just stay here, if you just want to stay here, chase the shadows, then you will keep getting one body after another, right? You will keep having desires, you will keep getting karmic reactions, you will have to keep tolerating those karmic reactions, you will have to keep fulfilling those desires, and you will keep coming back. So that's why the Bhagavad Gita opens with this knowledge that we are not this body, we are the soul, so that we understand that we do not belong with this world, we do not belong with this body, with the matter. We are spiritual living entity, and our goal is to go back, right? He also says that if you get me, then there will be, you will not come back here because this world is dukhalyam, right? Anybody knows that verse? What is that verse? मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयम् अशाश्वतं नाप्नुवन्ति महात्माना संसिद्धिं परमं गतिम्. And then he says what? He says, whoever you are, you may be the topmost living entity. You may have all kinds of power, all kinds of positions and fame and name. No matter who you are, if you are absorbing yourself in this world, you will have to keep coming back, right? This anityam, asukham lokam, you'll have to keep coming back. So he says, Brahma bhuvanala loka punaravartino arjuna mamupetya tu konteya punarjanmana vidyate. I'm just giving you the basic, concepts, the most important concepts of Bhagavad Gita, so that you understand the advent of Mahaprabhu. Okay, so Krishna basically keeps telling us that even if you're Brahma, from Brahma, the topmost jiva, to an ant, okay, the lowest jiva, let's say, or somebody that is lower than an ant, everybody has to keep circulating in the cycle of birth and death through different planets, through different species, different bodies. Unless you come back to me, then that's it. That's game over. That's your end of your circulation in this world, right? So then he says, and this understanding we get more in Srimad Bhagavatam, that okay, we understand, we want Paramgati, we want to go back to Godhead, we want to go back to Krishna, that's it. Then no coming back to this world, no suffering in this dukhalyam anityam lokam, right? So, what is the best position to go back to Godhead? So he says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says, many places it is said that the best way to go back to Godhead is through human form of life, right? So if you want perfection of life, you need human form of life. It's like saying, for example, we were coming, we went to India. So there is no direct flight from here, from Jackson or from even Memphis or Nashville to India. So in order to go to India, in order to catch a flight to India, I have to go to some other airport, which is a direct flight. I have to go to Chicago or New York, right? Somewhere where the direct flight is possible. So human form of life is that opportunity, that airport where you have that facility to go back to Godhead. In any other species, it's not possible to go back to Godhead because that those faculties, those facilities like intelligence, discrimination, right? Very developed senses, very developed mind, all these things, speech, all these things are not given to other species. So only the human form of life is that opportunity where you have direct flight back to Godhead possible. And you get this human form of life very rarely. Can anybody give some references from scriptures or Bhagavatam? So human form, okay, I'll give you a hint. Human form of life is so rare that it is said we should use every single minute of this life in trying to go back to Godhead. We should see how we can make arrangements to go back to Godhead. We should use as early as possible. We should start achieving self-realization. We should start aiming for perfection or self-realization. Prahlad Maharaj said. Yes. Can you quote that? कौमारमाचरेत् प्राज्ञो कौमारमाचरेत् प्राज्ञो धर्मं भागवतानिहा दुर्लभं मानुषं जन्म तदपि अध्रुवम् अर्थदम्. Right? Everybody should try to remember this verse because this is a key verse spoken by Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj is a child. So he says, do not waste any time in this life. And we might think we are not a child. We got this knowledge at a later stage in our life. So what should we do? But still, we don't know how much life we have. Let's make the best of it, right? No matter if you came in contact with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita later in life, let's use rest of the human life to make it perfect. But we have no time to lose in this human life, basically. That's what Prahlad Maharaj says. And so many other, there is another verse in Bhagavatam which says, Durlabho manusho deho dehi nam kshana bhangura tatrapi durlabham manne vaikuntha priyadarshanam. That it's very rare to get human form of life. This is like it's rare. Like you can buy a ticket to get to Chicago or to get to New York to catch a direct flight, but getting a ticket to human form of life is not very easy. It's very rare. It's after millions of births you get a human form of life. So the ticket to human form of life is very expensive actually. And imagine somebody landed on that airport, somebody got that lottery. It's like a lottery ticket. It's like getting hit by lightning. I saw a patient last night who got hit by lightning. And I'm like, what are the chances you got hit by lightning? And so it's a rare chance. It's a rare, well, that's a bad thing, but this is an opportunity. Right? Don't get hit by lightning, but imagine you win a lottery, right? It's such a rare opportunity. And then you miss that chance. You waste that lottery ticket, you lose it. What a waste, right? If you lost $1 million lottery ticket. So, so then Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, once you got human form of life, now start understanding who your origin is. Your origin, your source, your cause is me. I am Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, right? So understand that I am your source. Iti matva bhajante mam. Knowing this, do my worship, right? Worship me. Buddha bhav samanvita. Intelligent people worship me knowing that I am their source, okay? So basically, everybody that comes to this path is automatically declared intelligent by Krishna. That intelligent people worship me because they understand they have to come back to me. I am their source, I am their origin. Once they start making this effort of coming back to me, then I will give them more intelligence, more resources, more facilities by which, right? So you had some hankering, you had some faith that there is something more. So you start exploring spiritual path, right? And then Krishna starts giving you more faith from within, more facilities. Guru comes in your life, devotees come in your life, right? Scriptures come in your life, understanding of scriptures comes in your life, kirtan starts happening, taste for nam jap starts, right? So many things happen. So then Krishna says, I will make that faith firm in your heart. I will give you that proper discrimination and determination by which you will be fixed up on this path. So just start. You're already very intelligent because you started coming towards me, and I will make that intelligence more firm from within. But also, Krishna does not only give this intelligence from inside, he also comes himself, right? He's so merciful that every so often, periodically, Krishna says that I'll come and I'll also help you out. Okay, it's not enough to just get intelligence from within or to just have scriptures or my words may not be enough, right? Just to hear about me may not be enough, my activities and qualities. I will come as well. So, anybody can say the reference for that? Where Krishna says, yes. So he says, I will come whenever there is decline in religion, right? Paritranai sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So then you would say 500 years back when Mahaprabhu came, okay? Mahaprabhu came in Kali Yuga 500 years back. What was the decline in religion going on? What was the problem? Does everyone know that Advaita Acharya called him? Advaita Acharya is one of the associates of Mahaprabhu. He came before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he invited Mahaprabhu to come. So what was the decline in religion going on at that time that he had to invite Krishna to come? So basically what was going on was 500 years back, even though people were practicing Vedic religion, they were Brahmanas, okay? But these Brahmanas were what we call like caste Brahmanas or Jat Gosais, right? Like they are Brahmanas by birth, but may not necessarily be qualified or may not have the qualities of Brahmanas. So they keep the knowledge very much confined in their family. They only transmit it within their family. They charge hefty money for any rituals and ceremonies. And it is all very much ritualistic religion. It's very sort of what we call karm kandi religion. It's not aimed, that religion which is not aimed towards love of Godhead. Bhagavatam says it's a cheating religion. Okay, it's a ketav dharma. It's not something. The purpose of religion is to give you love of Godhead, to reestablish the relationship with Lord. You should want to go back to Him. You should want to serve Him. Right? You should want to explore your relationship with Him. If religion does not give you that hankering, if religion does not make you have that feelings for the Lord, then that's not a true religion. That's a cheating dharma. That's what Bhagavatam says. So that was going on at that time. It was very prevalent, very prominent. People had heard Bhagavad Gita, but nobody was really following the principles. Nobody was aiming for love of God. Nobody was surrendering to the Lord, right? So it was very dry. It was the people were pundits, scholarly. They were arguing. They were debating with each other for the sake of, like a game. Basically, it's just a game for them to have grammatical arguments about scriptures, right? So, seeing this condition, Advaita Acharya prayed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I have it's all out of order, I think. So I'll show you later where it comes. He prayed to his Shaligram Shila at the bank of Ganges with a little bit of Ganga water, and this is it, and he with tulsi leaves, Ganga water, he prayed to Shaligram Shila, and he very seriously, very sincerely, with lot of anguish in his heart, with lot of sorrow in his heart for the current situation, what is going on. People are not taking to the names of God, they're not aiming for love of God. So he was being a pure devotee, being an advanced Vaishnav. This was very sorrowful for him. So with that mood, he called Krishna to come. So he thought, and Krishna also thought, that I gave all this knowledge in Bhagavad Gita, right? All this knowledge we talked about. He said to surrender unto him. He said, forget all. Krishna said, forget all the religions and just surrender unto me. Sarv dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam sarv papebhyo mokshayashyami ma shucha. But what are people doing? People are just following some kind of ritualistic religions. They have come up with so many different types of ritualistic religions, and they're just worried about their sinful reactions. They just want to get rid of their sins somehow. They just want good, body or name, fame. They want more comforts in this material world. I said dukhalyam ashashvatam, but they're still trying to make their life comfortable in this material world only. So everything that I taught, they're going completely opposite to it. Hmm? So how do I encourage them to follow the real path to really serve dharman parityaja? How would they parityaja all these other dharmas that they have taken on? I will have to show myself. I'll have to become a devotee and show with my own conduct, right? Like a proper teacher. For example, let's say I'm sitting here and I'm, let's say, talking about, I don't know, I give a class on humility or I give a class on anger management, right? But then I become angry at you, or whatever, act arrogant, right? Proudful, whatever. So then that class is no meaning, right? So achar, the conduct of that person will matter, of the teacher. So Advaita Acharya said, this is what Advaita Acharya thought. This comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita. आपने श्री कृष्ण यदि करे ना अवतार आपने आचार्य भक्ति करे ना प्रचार. If Sri Krishna were to appear as an incarnation, he himself could preach devotion by his personal example. So, Krishna will have to come himself, he will have to show what surrender looks like, what love of God looks like, what pure chanting of name looks like, right? What faith looks like, what renunciation, detachment looks like, what knowledge looks like. So, all these things, what sense control, mind control looks like, what spiritual intelligence looks like, all these principles that Krishna has talked about in Bhagavad Gita, he would have to come and display those principles in his own life. That's the only way people would believe him and take up this path. So this was the um, this was the mood of Advaita Acharya. Now, this is just a beautiful verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita about Gaur Purnima, and I thought it was so apt. It said, Akalanka Gaur Chandra Dila Darshan Sakalanka Chandre Ara Kona Prayojan. It's very sweet. It says, when Akalank Gaur Chandra, the moon of Gaura, which is Akalank, which is spotless, is rising on this night, what is the use of Sakalank Chandra, of the moon full of spots? We don't need that moon. So that's why that day when Mahaprabhu came, there was actually lunar eclipse, right? The moon had hidden itself. Because what is the point of a kalankit moon, of a moon full of spots, when a kalankit God Chandra will come? Kaun prayojan? What is the prayojan? What is the reason? What is the need for such a moon? And I was thinking this year also we had lunar eclipse on God Purnima, and I don't know if it has ever happened in all these 400 some years. No, right? This is the first time. Yeah. Where it said After 540 years, this was started.
Wow. How auspicious. And that's what it is said about that lunar eclipse, because people were very fearful of these kind of inauspicious omens, right? So lunar eclipse was considered very inauspicious. So all these smart brahmanas, the caste brahmanas, were all these pandits, what were they doing? They went out into the Ganga and they were chanting Hari Hari, right, very loudly, Hari Hari, as the lunar eclipse was going on. And so it is said that, and God Chandra was being born just then. So before Gauranga was being born, he had invented the Harinam before he came. So that's how important, that was the prayojan for that lunar eclipse to happen. That was the goal for that lunar eclipse. Before I go further, let's do, so these are, I have first 6 verses of Chaitanya Charitamrit, okay? Charitamrit means the nectar of Charit or Charitra, like character, nectar of Gauranga's, Chaitanya's character, okay? Like we say Ram Charit Manas, right? So Charit word means character. So Chaitanya Charitamrit means nectar of Gauranga's character. So the first 6 verses are very beautiful. Vande Gurunīśā Bhaktān Īśāmīśāvatarakān Tat Prakāśāmscha Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samyakam Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau Gaudoday Pushpavantau Chitrau Sandau Tamunudau. Please read these. I'll come to the one that I really think is important. This is number 3, which is saying, what the Upanishads describe as impersonal Brahman is the effulgence of his body. So we're talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the Lord known as the Super Soul is but his localized plenary portion. Lord Chaitanya is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself, full with 6 opulences. He is the absolute truth, and no other truth is greater than or equal to him. Okay, this is a very beautiful. So now the 4, 5, 6. Okay, 3 verses are very beautiful. So this verse, what does it say? Oh, this is a, okay. Okay, let me go to this first of all. So this is a place, Mataji, you remember? This is Imlital. So this is Imlital in Vrindavan, okay? So when Lord comes, okay, he had, before we go to Imlital, let's go back, dial back a little, okay? So go back to Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, we just read in chapter 3, Krishna talks about sacrifices, right? Krishna said that everything should be done as a sacrifice. Yagyarthat karma no anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma konteya mukta sangha samachara, right? Everything should be done as a sacrifice. And in there, in chapter 3, Prabhupada mentions many, many, many times in almost all the purports of those verses about sacrifice, that the best sacrifice is Sankirtan, right? Is chanting of the holy names. What does that mean? Let me just give you a brief overview, okay, for those that may not be familiar. So you know that in each age, there are 4 ages, right? There is, first age is Satyug, then Treta Yug, then Dwapar Yug, then Kal Yug, okay? So with each age, the humans, even though we are in human body, we said that human body is very important, it's very vital, but the human body's capabilities, the consciousness, the physical and mental capacity of gross subtle body, everything declines with each age. Okay, it is just the effect of degradation in the material world, that as the ages go, from Satyug to Kalyug, everything declines. The consciousness of humans decline, their age declines. Like if in Satyug they were living for 100,000 years, right? In Treta Yug they live for how many years? Ek zero hata do. 10,000 years, right? In Dwapar Yug they were living for about 1,000 years. And in Kali Yuga they live for maximum 100 years, if that, right? So in this way, the age declines. Our mental capacity, our sense control, right? Our consciousness, our qualities, our virtues, values, everything, our external world becomes more complicated, more problematic, more difficult to deal with, right? Everything becomes polluted, sort of. Consciousness becomes polluted. So you can think of it like this. In a school, let's say there is 12th grade student and there is a first grade student. 12th grade student is familiar with basic algebra or no? Or like let's say basic alphabets or no? He knows basic words, he knows basic algebra, right? So 12th grade student can be taught more complicated algebra. He can be taught more complicated sentences. He can make compound complex sentences, right? Where the second grade is barely learning the alphabets, barely learning the basic maths, right? So what does the teacher do? For the 12th grade, they will set a more difficult exam, right? A more difficult mathematical problem is given, more longer essays, and their vocabulary, their spellings and all will be more longer, and complicated structured sentences will be there, right? But for second grade, first grade, there are very basic sentences, simple words, simple spelling, simple maths is given. So similarly, because everything is degraded, we are like the first graders, like the lowermost in the school, okay? And these Satyuga people were with very advanced consciousness and values and everything are very advanced, like 12th graders or higher, right? So they already have basic understanding. You know how in this age we have to tell people there is a God, right? First of all, you have to start from there is a God, right? You come, you're his part and parcel, you're his servant, you are not the Lord of this world, right? He is the Lord of this world. So you have to start from there. You have to first of all convert them from atheism to some sort of faith. But in those ages, people automatically had faith. They didn't have to be taught Bhagavad Gita at all, actually. Because the basic principles of Bhagavad Gita, the sense control, mind control, detachment, knowledge, all these things they already knew, right? Vairagya, Gyan, Vairagya, everything they already knew. So now we have to give the basic teaching. So we're teaching simple alphabet, simple maths, because complex problems, Lord's Leelas, intimate Leelas are beyond us. So in those ages, that's why more difficult processes were given to achieve Paramgati. That Paramgati that Krishna talks about in Bhagavad Gita, the perfection of life, the perfection of spirit, of self-realization, could be could be achieved through a method, through a prescribed method, right? For each yuga, there is a prescribed method, and they had a prescribed method, which was, what was it in Satyuga? Or dhyan, right? So again, so to give a reference from our scriptures, the verse goes like this. Kriteyadhyayato Vishnum Tretayam Yajito Makhe. Tretayam. In Treta, what was it? Yajito. Fire sacrifices, yajna. Dwapare Paricharyayam. In Dwapar, it was deity worship, Vigraha Seva, temple worship, right? Kalau tad Hari Kirtanat. In Kalau, what do you do? In Kalyug, Hari Kirtan. So basically, the simplest method is given for the first graders who do not know the basic maths and basic science and basic alphabets. Okay, simplest method, but the best method. And for the other ages who were more pure, they were more advanced, so they were given more difficult methods, which were more time consuming, but their bodies could handle it, their mind, their consciousness could handle it. We cannot handle those. We cannot do fire sacrifices. Our ingredients are not pure. Our brahmanas have wrong intentions or ulterior motives, right? Our yajmans are not pure. Like no, so everything is polluted. So fire sacrifices are not pure. Temple worship also, Vigraha Seva also demands a certain amount of purity, certain amount of sincerity, cleanliness, and all this, which we do not have, right? You have to wake up at certain time. Like Prabhuji Mataji do such wonderful deity worship. So deity worship is very demanding, time consuming, right? That you have to, this is the Lord you're taking care of. So you cannot just be, you have to follow the rules. There is an Archana Paddhati that you have to follow. So in this way, so what do we need? We need something where we do not need cleanliness, we do not need purity, we do not need good qualities, we do not need anger management, speech control, nothing, right? So what were we given? Hari Kirtan. So this is called the prescribed duty or prescribed sacrifice, prescribed yajna for Kali Yuga. Okay. So this is also called Yug Dharma. So what is the Yug Dharma? Sankirtan or chanting of the holy names, right? So one of the reasons for Mahaprabhu to come was to establish this Yug Dharma. Okay, he said that, okay, these people I gave Bhagavad Gita, they're still doing whatever they want. They're not following my injunctions at all. They missed the point completely. I taught a class, but they did not follow anything that I taught. So let me come and give them what they need. Okay, this is the prescription for them. They have a lot of disease, just like somebody has a lot of disease. So you have to give the right prescription for them. So prescription changes with age because our disease changes, right? So this is the prescription for Kali Yuga. Okay. So this is called in Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 3 of Chaitanya Charitamrita is called external reasons of Lord's appearance. Bahaya reasons, like the reasons that were revealed to the world. So the world may not sometimes, people have doubts about Mahaprabhu. They think that he's not, yes, he may be some Mahapurush, maybe he is a Pandit or a scholar or a Brahman, a sannyasi who established Hari Kirtan, but may not necessarily be Krishna, right? So but everybody agrees that he established the Yug Dharma, he established the holy names of the Lord as the prescribed yajna for this age. So that is his external reason. Now let's go to Krishna's heart. Okay. Now let's go to the Imlital. So Imlital is a beautiful place in Vrindavan. I think went last year also. So this is a place where it is said Krishna achieved perfection. Can you believe that Krishna can be imperfect? Krishna is perfect, right? He has all the opulences. He's the Sarvagun Sampan. Huh? He has all the qualities. All the qualities in us come from him. But how can he have some imperfection? He's considered the Rasraj. Huh? So he realized in this place, okay, all the gopis used to come and meet him. Radharani used to come meet him. Imlital means Imli ka ped hai wahan pe. So there is let me see, there is another picture. There is this is the, here, do you see? This is the tamarind tree, okay? Ancient tamarind tree. See the tree? So here, Krishna used to wait for gopis and gopis would come running, okay? And remember, it's not easy to come to Krishna. It's not easy to give up everything. They would give up give up their family, their husband, their kids, and they'll go running to Krishna. We know it's not easy. Like we went to Dham, it's not easy. Oh my God, coming back and going, it was 3 flights and like so much you have to do. It's not easy to get to Krishna. So to give up everything, to tell your job, to tell your boss, tell your job, okay, hold on, I'm not coming for a week. Do not expect me, right? If you want to
inside Vrindavan was hard this time
it
to go.
inside to get inside Vrindavan.
It's very hard.
So hard, like it's not easy, huh? You have to say, you need certain amount of detachment. You have to say no to your job. You have to say no to your people. Okay, I am not coming. Do not expect me, right? And then you have to buy these tickets and buy all these flights, and then there is these layovers, and then if your flight gets cancelled or delayed or something, that's a whole hassle. So anyways, but gopis were doing this without any second thought. They were running to Krishna, right? So every time they'll come to Krishna and they'll have such beautiful pastimes with Krishna in this place. So Krishna developed this desire in this place. And one day Radharani didn't come. So you can see in this picture, Krishna is sitting in meditation on Radharani. He sat there thinking of Radharani. And this desire came in his heart in this place. It is said that in Imlital, this desire came to Krishna that I want to understand. I'm supposed to be Rasraj. I'm supposed to be the source and enjoyer of all rasas. Okay, I'm Akhil Rasamrit Murti. So how is it possible that I've never thought about enjoying the rasa that my devotees, that gopis and Radharani enjoy? What enjoyment do they get in coming to me, in serving me, in loving me? What qualities do I have? Okay. So he developed 3 desires in his heart. Okay. What were the 3 desires? Number 1, he wanted to know what qualities in him attract the devotees, attract gopis and Radharani. Number 2, what love they feel for him. Number 3, what enjoyment or happiness they feel in serving him, in loving him, in serving him, what enjoyment or happiness they feel. 3 qualities. 3 desires. What are the 3 desires? Can somebody say?
What are the qualities
What are
that they enjoy, that the devotees enjoy in it? What love do they have for Krishna? And then what is the enjoyment they get by serving him?
Yes. So please remember, because this is very important, right? So these are the 3 desires that arose in his heart. So he thought, okay, in my next form, I want to feel or fulfill all these 3 desires. I want to know what that love of devotees is. That rasa I'm missing, okay? And I'm supposed to be perfect. So I'm not perfect if I'm missing this key rasa, like the all my devotees, everybody knows this except me. I do not know what that nectar is, what that enjoyment, what that love, what that happiness is, what qualities in me attract people. So I want to know that. I want to relish that. So I will go next time when I will go in the mood of a devotee. And who is the best devotee to go in the mood of? It is Srimati Radharani. So I want to understand her mood and I will take her complexion. So that's why he is Lord Gauranga, because he came in the this Gaur Varna in this golden luster, this golden complexion. So he covered himself in this golden complexion and came in the mood of Radharani. And so imagine when he comes in the mood of Radharani, is Radharani more merciful or Krishna? Radharani. So if he's coming in the mood of Radharani, will he not be the most merciful, most munificent, most magnanimous form out of all the forms possible, right? Because he's none other than Radharani. He's Krishna, none other than Krishna, but he's coming in the mood of Radharani. So since he has that mood, he's the most merciful form. Okay, so he doesn't kill any demons. When he comes, he doesn't kill any people. Krishna is killing all these demons left and right? War is going on and whatnot he's doing. But Radharani doesn't do that. So Radharani kills the demonic propensities. When he comes as Radharani, he gives Harinam because his external reason is to give Harinam, to establish Yug Dharma. He gives it to one and all. So he said, I will not let it be confined to the caste Brahmanas, to the Jat Gosais and all this. This name will be freely given on the streets of every city, every town of the world. It will be given to every person of any color, any gender, any caste, any creed. Forget humans. When he was chanting the holy names, even the animals would dance, even the stones will melt, even the plants will bloom, flowers will bloom. And his chanting, he gave this chanting of holy name. He went door to door. He instructed all his disciples to go and distribute this holy name freely, door to door, to each and every person possible in this whole world. So this is the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so merciful. So Lord Ram is called Maryada Purushottam, Krishna is called Leela Purushottam, and Mahaprabhu is called he's Prem Purushottam. So his goal is to get everybody to love of Godhead. So Prema Pumartho Mahan. Okay, let's read these few verses. So 4, 5, and 6 we'll read. We'll understand his mood. अनार्पिता चरिं चिरात् करुणयावतीर्णकालौ समर्पयितुमुन्नतुज्ज्वला रसां स्वभक्तिश्रियं हरिपुरट्सुन्दराद्युतिकदम्बसन्दीपिता सदा हृदया कन्दरे स्फुरतौ शचीनन्दना. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Shachi Devi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chambers of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before. So this is the thing. Nobody has ever given love of Godhead. He is the only one who has given love of Godhead. The most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. So no other form gave this most confidential bhav that is possible. Let's read more, couple more verses. This is very beautiful. So all these 6 verses are very often quoted. Anarpita Charitcharam, and then this one. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikne. Prabhuji, what is this for? This is Shad Goswami Ashtakam.
Oh,
Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Aladin Shaktirasman Eka Manavapi Bhuvi Purade Vedam Gatau Tau Chaitanyakyam Prakatam Adhunata Dvayam Chaikyam Apatam Radha Bhavadili Suvalitam Nārangi Krishna Swarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna, transcendental manifestation of Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one, they separated themselves. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. So this is a very famous line, Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. So he is Krishna who has come in the Dyuti of Radharani. Dyuti means the complexion, the golden effulgence, and Bhav, the mood or sentiment of Radharani. Let's do one more. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahimaki Kidrisho Vanaiva स्वाद्यो येन त्वता मधुरिमा कीदृशो वा मदीयः सौख्यं चास्य मदनुभवता कीदृशं वेति लोभात् तद्भावाढ्य समज्ञिशुचिगर्भा सिन्धौ हरिन्दु. Desiring to understand so this has all the three desires, okay? Please pay attention. Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Shachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. Okay, so three desires. He wants to know the wonderful qualities that please Radharani, the love that she feels for him, and the happiness that she feels in serving him. So these are again some, I thought I'll just immerse you in a lot of verses today, so I hope that's okay. Hopefully you develop a desire to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. So external reasons. So Krishna says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I'll tell you the English also this. चिरकाल नहीं करी प्रेम भक्ति दान भक्ति बिना जग तेरा नहीं अवसान. For a long time I have not bestowed unalloyed loving service to me upon the inhabitants of the world. चिरकाल नहीं करी प्रेमा भक्ति दान. I have not given prema bhakti to my people. Bhakti vina jagatera nahi avasthan. So Advaita Acharya called him, come, but what should I do there? I have to give my love to the people. I have to give Krishna prem. Without such loving attachment, the material world is useless. Sakale jagate more kare vidhi bhakti vraja bhava paite nahi shakti. So everybody is doing vidhi bhakti. Remember we talked about it? They're doing this ritualistic worship according to scriptural injunction. But simply doing that cannot attain the loving sentiments of the devotees of the Vraj Bhumi. Vraj Bhav, the Vrindavan Bhav, the Radha Bhav, Gopi Bhav, one cannot achieve just by Vidhi Bhakti. So we have to do something more. Yug Dharma Pravartaymo Nama Sankirtan Chari Bhava Bhakti Diya Nachamu Bhuvan. I shall personally inaugurate the religion of this age, Nam Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy name. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy. Chari Bhava Bhakti Diya Nachamu Bhuvan. So Bhuvan means world. I will make the world dance to this, the four mellows of loving devotional service. This I think, oh yeah, so and then he also thought, Apani karimo bhakti bhava angikar, apani achari bhakti sikhaye mu sabar. I shall accept the role of a devotee. Okay, apani karimo bhakti. I will show with my own conduct what devotion should look like, what surrender, what love should look like. And I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. So Mahaprabhu showed not only, like if you, that's the reason why Chaitanya Charitamrita is such a beautiful scripture because it doesn't only have the chanting of the holy names, it doesn't only have the stories of Mahaprabhu, but it also has even the principles and practices of devotional service, because we cannot artificially jump to the highest taste of holy names, right? We cannot say that, oh, suddenly I have the perfect taste for holy names. There is a set of practices and principles you have to follow, right? You have to accept a guru. He accepted sannyas because that was needed for preaching. He showed how preaching is done, right? He gave instructions to his disciples, and then we talked about various dealings and all those, and we'll talk about some of those teachings of Mahaprabhu also. So it's full of not only just the highest mellows between Srimati Radharani and Krishna, the conjugal love affairs of Radha and Krishna. It's not only full of the chanting of holy names, but it's also full of the various practices we have to do on our daily basis, various principles we have to follow in our daily basis. So Chaitanya Charitamrita has both rasa and tattva, like the philosophy and nectar, both are there. So these are three external reasons. One is to establish Yug Dharma. He wanted to give Krishna prem to the masses. And very important, he wanted not only to give Krishna prem, but to establish Vraj Bhakti in the mood of Vraj Vadhus as the topmost bhav. And he did it through Srimad Bhagavatam. He wanted to establish Srimad Bhagavatam as the topmost scripture. So it is said in Chaitanya Bhagavat, आराध्यो भगवान ब्रजेश तनयास तथा मा वृंदावना रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणम् अम्लं प्रेमापुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतमिदं तत्राधरा न परा. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's opinion, matam idam, that Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost scripture. Shyam Sundar, the prince of Rajas, devotion is the highest form of worship, and it should be done in the mood of Braj Vadhus. Okay, it should be done in the mood of gopis of Vrindavan or Srimati Radharani. So these are all the things that Mahaprabhu did. Okay, established the Yug Dharma, which is chanting of holy names, gave Krishna prem freely to everyone, and he established the highest mode of worship, which is the Radha Bhav or Gopi Bhav, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the scripture. Okay, let's do some teachings. So one teaching, I think you all understand that he established the mood of servant also, right? That he was always in the mood of servant. In fact, when in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are so many places where he would say that Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya is my teacher, or I have learned everything from Ramanand Rai. Even though he is their teacher, he's saying that they are my teachers. So he would always appreciate these disciples of his, and he would say they are my teachers. So he's always calling himself servant of the Lord. And he did not he breaks those bodily identifications, that we do not belong to any caste or any ashram or varna, right? Those things are just bodily, on a bodily platform, but actually our original position, our true ego. What is our false ego? Bodily identification. What is our true ego? That I'm servant of the Lord, right? So he said, Naham Vipro, na cha narpatir, na pi vaishyo na shudro, नाहं वर्णी न च गृहपतिर् नो वनस्थो यतिर्वा किन्तु प्रोद्यन् निखिल परमानन्दपूर्णामृताब्धेर् गोपी भर्तु पदकमलयोर् दास दासानुदासा. So I am the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, right? So, and it is said that the more you are in servitude, the number of times you are removed, right, from Krishna, that many times, like how far down you are in the ladder, that much high you are in Krishna's eyes. So if you are a servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, the farthest back you are in the crowd, right, then highest you are in his eyes, because you're serving so many people in front of you. That means, right, if you're directly serving the Lord, you're just serving him, but you're serving this whole line of servants and you're serving so many people. So it's completely opposite. You see how the world is a perverted reflection, completely opposite to what we think in this world. In this world, we think if somebody is a servant, it's a very inferior position. It's a very menial position, right? It's looked down upon. But in spiritual world, the more you are a servant and more times you are a servant, right? That much glorified you are, that much high you are. So so you can see how it's a complete upside down tree, the spiritual world. So this is one of his instructions. He wanted all his devotees. So since we are in Mahaprabhu's movement, is that right? Are we Gauriya Vaishnavas?
Yeah.
Right? We are following the path of the teachings of Mahaprabhu. So we need to be in that mood of servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord, right? And we have to really deeply realize it. It's easy to say it just by mouth, but to deeply realize it, that everybody is my Prabhu, right? Everybody is my Mataji. That is very hard to do, actually, because our false ego keeps coming. That's why we have to constantly remind what is our true position, true ego. False ego will keep coming. I am a Brahman, or I am a whatever, so many positions, identifications, material achievements, accomplishments, all those things will keep coming in the way. So this is one teaching to really if this is one teaching you can deeply imbibe, everything else will become possible. But I think that for every teaching. So let's see what the next one is. So he instructed the 6 Goswamis. Who can tell me the names of the 6 Goswamis? Let's take different people to mention them. Okay. Yeah. 3 more. So we have Roop, Sanatan, and Jeev. Gopal Bhatt, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatt, right? So Roop, Sanatan, Jeev, Gopal Bhatt, Raghunath Bhatt, and Raghunath Das Goswami, right? So these are the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan who were disciples of Mahaprabhu. And one of the teachings that, so some instructions that he gave, so this is the munificence, this is the mercy of Mahaprabhu. The whole Vrindavan as we see today, like when we went to Vrindavan, the whole Vrindavan as we see today is by the mercy of Mahaprabhu. So you know that Vrindavan basically again by the effect of time just was completely overtaken by all these forests and so it was overgrown by all these forests and all these plants and creepers, right? So you could not see any of the pastime places of Krishna. So what did Mahaprabhu instruct his 6 Goswamis? Who can tell me?
What was the question?
So I was saying that Vrindavan was completely overgrown by like all the plants and creepers, right? You could not see any pastime places. Like let's say Radha Kund, Shyam Kund, huh? These things were not there. So we have these things by mercy of Mahaprabhu, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? Because what did he tell his Goswamis? To explore, to excavate and establish the places of Radha Krishna pastimes. So Vrindavan, as we see all these beautiful temples, all these beautiful places that have been excavated and re-established, they were brought up by the 6 Goswamis, by the disciples of Mahaprabhu, by the instructions of Mahaprabhu. So he said, look the Tirtha, if you see the third line, look the Tirtha Uddhar. Okay, so all the Tirtha, all the Vrindavan has become looked, has become completely covered. So uncover it again. And he also said, what other instructions he gave? Can somebody, so think about what Goswamis did, and then you will know what instructions they got.
Think about the etiquettes.
To write, so to show with their own conduct how a sannyasi should be, and to write about Vaishnav conduct. So that's why Vaishnav conduct or Sadachar, out of 5 S's, I don't have time to go into everything, but very important is Vaishnav Sadachar, right? Or Vaishnav etiquette. So he established that etiquette and he said that Goswamis need to show with their conduct what a renunciate should behave like. Okay, not only a renunciate, but what a devotee or Vaishnav should behave like, right? So that's another established Vaishnav etiquettes, write about it. What else did Goswamis do that you can think of? They wrote a lot of literature, right? We have Rup Goswami's Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. We have so many books. Brihad Bhagavatamrita, huh? Songs also they wrote. So he said basically to write the literature, all the Vedic literature, write it in easy understandable languages, right? So to simplify the Vedic literature and present it in a simplified, all the philosophy needs to be presented again. So they wrote prolifically, like Jeev Goswami, Rup Goswami, they were prolific writers. So they wrote so many books. So all the Vedic literature was presented again by these Goswamis. So write all the literature. Vaishnav conduct ho gaya, Lukta Tirtha and Vaishnav etiquettes. What else? And then this is basically established temples in Vrindavan, okay? And Krishna Bhakti. So spread Krishna Bhakti through basically preaching and so Krishna Bhakti, Krishna Prem. So these were some of the teachings. Okay, so this is another teaching of Mahaprabhu. What does this mean? Achintya Bheda Bhed. So who can tell me what that is? Maybe other than Prabhuji and you. Who else can tell? Mataji, you know, what is Achintya Bheda Bhed? So this is the philosophy of our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. This is the philosophy given by Mahaprabhu. What does it? So you've probably heard of how Shankaracharya gave Advaitvad, right? Or how what's his name? Buddha's philosophy was atheistic. In this way, Buddha declined all the Vedic scriptures. They were all Vedic scriptures were cancelled. You can say cancel culture. Huh? Yes, simultaneously one and different. So now, Prabhuji, you can want to elaborate. Achintya Bheda Bhed means?
So we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. So we are from Krishna. We have the same substance, but we are different in quantity. So like the example is given usually of the ocean. Just like a drop of water is the same quality as the rest of the ocean, but it does not have the volume of the ocean. So we are part and parcel of Krishna, but and have the same qualities. But
so simultaneously one and different. So we have we have Satchidanand Roop, we have the same, qualitatively we are same, but quantitatively we are different. So there is Abhed also. Okay, so that is so please remember the name of this philosophy that Mahaprabhu gave, right? Achintya Bheda Bhed. And this philosophy actually explains everything. All those things, people have this confusion about Brahman and about Advaitvad and dualities, right? So Krishna is both personal and impersonal also at the same time, right? Krishna has this effulgence from his body, which is Brahman, and he also can have personal relationships with us. So Achintya Bheda Bhed Tattva or philosophy actually explains the whole.
That there was those philosophies that there's only light, so everything is one.
Right.
And then there was nothingness. That there's nothing. And then there was Dvaitva, that we are one and then God is different. And now this is Achintya Bhedave, that it's Achintya means inconceivable. So there's inconceivable. How can be something the same and still different? Same.
That is the Achintya part of it. How can something be same and different at the same time? These were the instructions given to Sanatan Goswami. So that these are if somebody asks you now, there are so many teachings that I've mentioned, but there are three main tenets to Mahaprabhu's teaching. Okay. So this is Jeev Daya, Nam Ruchi, and Vaishnav Seva. Three things that were very dear to Mahaprabhu. Does anyone know where and for how long Mahaprabhu taught Sanatan Goswami? I'm asking you all this to Varanasi was Rup Goswami, Prayagraj. So at the Shashwamedh Ghat, for 10 days. For 10 days. To Rup Goswami he taught for 2 months. So just giving you bits and pieces here and there of Chaitanya Charitamrita, so you get some taste. And Prabhupada used to say that Chaitanya Charitamrita is like a is the best Bengali sweet there is. It's like a Bengali rasgulla. You can eat it from anywhere, but you must eat it before you leave this body. So very, very important. And it actually has so many, like it covers the verses or the philosophy, the principles from many other scriptures also. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has given all the story, all the pastimes of Mahaprabhu, but also like Padma Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so many other Goswami's literature, right? Lalit Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav, all these Govind Leelamrit, all these are also quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it's very nice.
Quoted what's his Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj, who said that if I had to,
yes,
I'm carrying something and if I have to throw something.
Yes. So in Assam, there was a flood. Okay. And a disciple asked Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, if in a flood like this, we lose all our books, what should we do? So he said, if you lose all your books, try to save only one book. Try to save Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you can save Chaitanya Charitamrita, nothing is lost because it already encompasses Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam in it. This is considered the postgraduate study, right? Because this is talking about Radha Krishna's conjugal mellow. So you see their sweet relationship of Radha Krishna, and you develop that madhurya, right? That attraction towards madhurya bhav. So that's why it's a postgraduate study. But it doesn't mean that we have to finish Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and then get to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Can we not do it together? Yes. So once you have some understanding of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam principles, you can start learning Chaitanya, or you can start reading Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Think about the classes of those who have attended, which one, Mrigari, he did that from there?
Mrigari was in Chaitanya Bhagavad, I think. Yeah, but still, so many beautiful, so many beautiful pastimes. I have a little flow sheet I'll show you. Hopefully that you will like that. But who doesn't have Chaitanya Charitamrita here? Okay. Mataji, you have?
I have.
Huh. Who does not have? I'm like, that's one of the first times we came to your home and brought both Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. New home, you need to have Chaitanya Charitamrita. But I'll show you. I'm hoping. Let me see. I don't know if you have time to cover these things.
By Providence, God put them at your new house.
What time is it? What time is it?
8:40.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Stop till time.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. So we'll just. I want to show you a few more things. Okay, so this is another teaching of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he gave in the end, the last chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita has 8 verses. Those 8 verses are the only thing Mahaprabhu gave, like written, his own words, right? So of those, the verse 3 is this one. Trinadapi shuni chena tarorva sahishnuna amanina manaden kirtaniya sadahara. So Mahaprabhu used to say, our acharyas say that we should make a necklace or garland of this verse and put it in our neck, okay? So that we can never forget. because this is again very important teaching, that be as humble as a blade of grass, be as tolerant as the trunk of a tree, as a tree, be as tolerant as a tree and as humble as a blade of grass. Amanina manaden, give all respect to everyone, right? Even if they don't respect you. Kirtaniya sadahari, and in that mood you'll be able to chant. It's not possible to chant Harinam if you're full of negatives about other people, or malice about other people, if you're full of, if um have spite, or hard feelings about other people. It's not possible to chant. So the only way to chant perfectly Harinam would be if you are as humble as a blade of grass. Nothing can touch you, everything just goes, flows over you without touching you, without contaminating you. Then that's the only mood to chant Harinam. Okay, and then the last and most important instruction of Mahaprabhu to all his disciples and to all of us, because we are also disciples of Mahaprabhu, right? So what is the instruction? That we should aggressively, actively participate in the Sankirtan movement of Mahaprabhu, because this Yug Dharma, this is not established one time by Mahaprabhu. This needs to be established over and over again, every day in our own lives and in the lives of other people. So he said, भारत भूमि ते हायला मनुष्य जन्म जार जन्म सार्थक करी करा परा उपकार. Bharat Bhumi te haila. I think everybody here is born on Bharat Bhumi. Maybe a couple are not, but yeah. But if you are born in the, if they're a couple, yeah. So if you're born in Indian soil, on Indian in Indian body, on Indian soil, then Manushya Janma Jar, you got human form of life. First of all, human form of life is a lottery, it's rare. And then on top of that, you were born on Bharat Bhumi. Then it is your responsibility to spread the Sankirtan movement. It is your responsibility to not only practice it yourself very sincerely and seriously, but to give to others also. Kara para upkar, okay? Because this is the perfection of, we know that this is the prescription. So you have the prescription, you have the medicine, you know the other people are diseased, and yet you're not giving it to other people. So what kind of, what kind of devotee you are? So devotees are like doctors in this material world. You have to give this aushadhi, this medicine to the diseased people. You cannot see them just suffering and they're just going to be stuck in the cycle of birth and death and you're not doing anything about it. So you have to give this Harinam to one and all, right? So this is especially, Mahaprabhu said, the duty of those that are born on Indian soil, okay? And then he said, Jare dekha tare kaha Krishna upadesh amaragya guru hana tara e desh. So wherever you are, whichever desh you are in, amaragya, it is my order that you tara e desh. You have to deliver that country. You have to deliver that society, that community. Tara e desh. Because how would his name spread? How would this holy name spread unless you take it on yourself, right? Jare dekhe tare kahe. Wherever you go, say Krishna Upadesh. You have to speak the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. You have to speak the instructions of Krishna. And that's how you can save this world. So, and he also said that Prithvite achayati nagaradigram sarvatra prachar haibe mora nam. So he said, Prithvite achayati nagaradigram, right? That I want that in this whole Prithvi, in every nagar, in every town, in every village, gram, Prachar, Sarvatra Prachar Haibe Morana. My name should be spread everywhere in all the towns and villages of this world. So that is what Prabhupada did. This is a conversation going back to Srimad Bhagavatam. I promised you there'll be Bhagavad Gita today, there'll be Chaitanya Charitamrita, and there'll be Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, there is a conversation between Karbhajan Muni and King Nimi, okay? Please read that. In that conversation, the Mahaprabhu is described in detail. So he says, O king, in this way, the people in Dwapar Yuga glorified the Lord of the universe. In Kali Yuga, people worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by following various regulations of revealed scriptures. Now kindly hear about this from me. So he says in Kali Yuga, what will happen, okay? In age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So, this is a beautiful verse. This is predicting Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. So it says, Krishna Varnam Tvisa Krishnam Sangopanga Astra Parshadam Yagya Sankirtaner Prayer Yajantihi Sumedasha. That very intelligent people in this world, will take to this Sankirtan movement, will take to the chanting of the holy names. And who will establish this chanting? It will be Krishna, who will be a Krishna Varnam, who will be not blackish color but golden color in this form. And he will come with his associates, Sango, Panga, Astra Parshadam. He will come with his Parshads. And what will be his Astra? Will be the chanting beads, right? And Kartal and Mridang and Sannyas Dhanda. So in this way he will, and then this verse also Karbhajan Muni is saying, "O Mahapurush, I worship your lotus feet. You gave up the association of the goddess of fortune and all her opulence." So this is talking about when Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Okay, this comes in Bhagavatam, which is most difficult to renounce and is hankered by even demigods. Being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, you left for the forest in obedience to a Brahmana's curse. So it says Arya Vachasam, because of a Brahmana's curse, you left your home. Out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen conditioned souls. So that's why Mahaprabhu is Patit Pavan, right? Who are always in pursuit of the false enjoyment of illusion, and at the same time engaged in searching out your own desired object. Charanar Vindam, so the lotus feet of the Lord. So this verse, and then those who are actually advanced in knowledge are able to appreciate the essential value of this age of Kali. Such enlightened persons worship Kali Yuga because in this fallen age, all perfection of life can easily be relieved by performance of Sankirtan. So, Yatra Sankirtaneva Sarva Swartho Bhilabhyate. So even people of Satyuga and all, even demigods, they all want to be born in Kali Yuga. Because in Kali Yuga it's very easy, Sankirtan is possible. So Yatra Sankirtaneva Sarva Swartho Bhilabhyate. So they want actually this Kali Yuga. There is another verse, I think you might know this. It says, Kaler dosho nidherajan asti eko mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. Kaler dosho, there are so many faults to Kali Yuga, right? People are hypocrites, there are conflicts, there are quarrels. That's why it's called Iron Age. But asti eko mahan guna. It's an ocean of faults, but there is only one benefit in this Kali Yuga. That kirtana deva krishnasya, by just doing chanting of the holy names, Mukta Sangha Param Rajit. You will be freed from the Sangha of this world, and Param Rajit, you will get the Param destination. So please take to this chanting of holy name. That's what Gaur Chandra bole, right? Jeev jago, Gaur Chandra bole. So ultimately what happened with Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu was chanting the holy names, right? He was preaching, he gave all these teachings, he gave all these instructions to all these Goswamis, had beautiful pastimes with his devotees, beautiful dealings with Vaishnavas. He was living in Puri after sannyas. And then ultimately in the end, what happened? This is again given in Bhagavatam. In the end, he became completely intoxicated, completely mad by the love of God. So, so there is a letter. It's a very famous letter of Prabhupada to one of the GBCs. So they said GBC is governing body commission. So they asked of ISKCON, they asked Prabhupada, what is the duty of a GBC? So he listed some duties, but he said your most important duty is to become mad in the love of God. So Prabhupada said you have to become mad in the love of God. So, and when Mahaprabhu got sannyas, do you know who's the guru of Mahaprabhu that gave him sannyas? No, sorry, not sannyas, initiation, the first initiation, Ishwarapuri, right? He started chanting of holy names after that, right? Ishwarapuri. Ishwarapuri told Mahaprabhu, this is the most important verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, okay? So the verse says in Bhagavatam, by chanting holy names of the Supreme Lord, one comes to the stage of love of God. So by chanting of holy names, you will get love of God. Then the devotee is fixed in his vow as a servant of the Lord and gradually becomes very attached to a particular name and form of the Lord. As his heart melts with ecstatic love, he laughs very loudly or cries or shouts. Sometimes he sings and dances like a madman, for he is indifferent to public opinion. Now this is very advanced stage. Please don't try to imitate this. When we say Sankirtan movement, this is not what we are talking about. We are not talking about making a fool of ourselves and making a show. The goal is to go out on the road, step out of your house and give Harinam. And the best way to do that is through book distribution, which Prabhupada taught us, right? So he said, go do Nagar Kirtan, do Harinam on the roads, do Prem Nam Kirtan. Like we were in New York and they were doing Harinam on the trains on the Times Square subway station, right? So wonderful. And so many people are standing there and start chanting the holy names. And even if you chant one name of Hari, that's so many sins removed already and so much, benedictions you will already get. So in this way, we have to step out of the door. We have to do book distribution. We have to chant holy names. Okay. Personally, you can gather, you can chant holy names, can be good for your personal nourishment. But the more important is to preach, to give holy names. And when you give, your faith in the holy names will improve. Right, your faith will increase. Your determination will become more. When you give a book to a completely new person, that's how we met. Right, remember we met in Harinam and we were doing Rath Yatra, Jagannath Rath Yatra. That was basically a way of doing Harinam. In ISKCON, when we do Rath Yatra, it's basically we're doing Harinam. That's how we met Poonam Mataji. We were doing book distribution outside the Balaji. So like that, let step out for book distribution for Harinam, and that's the mood. This will happen, but this is a very last, very advanced stage where somebody becomes intoxicated. So then Mahaprabhu, when Ishvara Puri gave him the mantra, okay, he got the mantra from Ishvara Puri. So Mahaprabhu told Ishvara Puri, Kiba mantra dila gosaye, kiba tar bala, japite mantra karila pagal. So he said, what mantra did you give me? Kiba mantra diya gosaye, kiba tar bal. What is the strength in this mantra? Japita mantra karila pagal. I'm going crazy. I'm becoming intoxicated, becoming mad by chanting this mantra. So this is the ultimate goal. Of course, it's a very high goal, but all you have to remember is that in this Kali Yuga, there is no other upaya, there is no other way, there are no rituals, no ceremonies, no demigod worship or anything else will save you. There is only one way, which is holy name. Devagatir Anyatha. So Tara Madhya Sarvashreshta Nam Sankirtan Niraprad Nam Lele Pai Prem Dhan. Right? So that was the prem that we saw in Mahaprabhu. This is Chaitanya Charitamrit. This is beautiful book, and it says Chaitanya Gosai Leela Amrite Radhara Sarve Indriya Tripta Hai Shravane Ahar. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes are full of nectar. So you will see, like I said, it has similar pastimes as Lord Ram, where there is very much etiquettes and conducts and spotless character, right? Then there are playful pastimes. He's also a scholar. In his early life, he's like a pandit. He can have debates and arguments, and he can defeat any of the topmost scholars of the world. He can quote like 100 verses to support his argument, and then he can quote another 100 to defeat that same argument. He can refute that same argument by quoting another 100 verses. If you say 100 verses to him, then he can pick out the 51st verse and quote it back to you, and then give like 100 purports to that verse. So he's that so you will see that Gyan type of mood, scholarly, intellectual mood of Mahaprabhu, and you will see very sweet pastimes with like the fruit seller, or with the with just the poor people around, with the normal people around, right? So even with those such sweet dealings you will see. So it's and Prabhupada, this was very dear to Prabhupada. Prabhupada paused Srimad Bhagavatam's narration purports to give us Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he did that within, I think, 12 months or 18 months or something. It was a very big, it was very fast. It was a remarkable feat. 18 months between 1973 and 74, he gave us Chaitanya Charitamrita, and within 2 months he had them all published, and there was like a painting marathon going on to make the paintings for the book. Within 2 months, devotees made so many paintings for the book. So Prabhupada had set like an impossible goal for them, but they all met it. And this book is cherished by our acharyas. Bhakti Vinod Thakur was searching for almost 10 years before he found one copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we have it easily available at our fingertips on the cell phones. I will not go into this. This is just summary of Chaitanya Charitamrita. But ultimately, this was Prabhupada holding Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the Sankirtan movement then, and this is now. So Mahaprabhu also said, Yadi papi chhadi dharma dur desh jai, mora senapati bhakta jai beta thai. So this verse actually predicts Prabhupada. So it says that Mora Senapati Bhakt. So if people go outside of the country, then my Senapati, my chief chief of my army will go and save them. And who's that chief? Mora Senapati Bhakt is Prabhupada. So this is a very famous verse about Prabhupada. But yeah, so ultimately our goal is to become servants of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Radas Mui, Chaitanya Radas, Chaitanya Radas Mui, Tan Radas Radas, and I'm servant of the Mahaprabhu servant. So I'll stop here. Let's any questions? Let's take any questions. Who's going to get Chaitanya Charitamrita in their house?
Next time, me.
You're gonna get it?
You're actually remembering today, right? I think you mentioned
What?
it was in God Purnima in Ravi Prabhu's house.
Yes.
And,
So your first program that you came to was Gaur Purnima celebration at Ravi Prabhu's house 3 years back, and you got Bhagavatam then.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
Wow.
you came to Jackson. Prabhuji brought you,
I told
Yeah.
you that you should get Bhagavatam.
and that was Gaur Purnima celebration.
Oh, wow.
So you got Bhagavatam then. So, but yeah, please let us know. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, very auspicious to have in your house. And who will start reading Chaitanya Charitamrita?
That's difficult.
That's it. Yeah, the flow chart I was showing you, this tells you like Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, Antya Leela, how the flow that it goes in. Like there are prayers, then so for many chapters the prayers go on. And then so Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami basically establishes their divinity, like how they are Panchtattva, not just normal people. And here, if you want to start from Madhya Leela, that will probably be okay because that's when Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. But I think his childhood pastimes are also very fun too, very nectarian, because he was like darling child of Navdeep, just like Krishna was darling child of Vrindavan. So his there are many playful pastimes and miraculous pastimes happen, like many miracles happen, which establish that he's not ordinary.
Also, a very natural desire to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. For me, I've not done that. But it has been for a long time. We have been talking about it.
Mm.
So maybe there's so many things, and you have to do like
Yeah.
everything. You have to do this one. You have to write so many classes. I think.
Right.
Just meet together and read. Chaitanya Charitamrita.
We used to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We should do again.
Yeah. Yeah, इतनी चीजें हैं क्या क्या कुछ So
See, मेरा भी ऐसे हो रहा है. I have taken. Wow, I want to read book. आज भी overwhelmed हो रही हूँ. Book भी नहीं हो रहा है for now.
which one?
Like I
Which
started on a Krishna book.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know, I said every day I'll read at least 9 pages. You know, I signed up with a sage by page, page by
Sage page by page. Mhm.
page by page. So you know, there it says that you have to read 9 pages to finish the book in certain time. मैंने वो किया अभी जैसे मैं आई हूँ तब टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा है पढ़ने को.
Yeah, that's okay. That's, I mean,
Krishna book to chali rahi hai uski.
Mataji, Krishna book is 10th canto. You should read it. So it's okay. I mean, as long as we're reading Prabhupada's books, it's okay. It's just, I'm just telling you that this is one of the books as long as we have the desire. But yeah, any Prabhupada's books, we need to really immerse and underline, highlight, write our realizations, questions, and share with each other.
I also finished the volume 1 of Srila Prabhupada that
Leela. Wow, very nice. Prabhupada's pastimes are also very nectarian. So same as all these, great personalities. They show with their conduct, with their dealings, with their character, all these things. How to do Jeev. So Jeev Daya means the biggest charity, right? Biggest charity is giving Krishna consciousness to others, right? So let's have more and more people get added to our Sankirtan movement. Our group is called Sankirtan Movement on WhatsApp. So the reason is because we want to give more and more people this knowledge. So we have to.
That's one of the last shlokas says that one who's preaching is actually the most dear to me.
So preaching means not this, not just pyasas and not just teaching like this. Preaching means to step out of the door and to interact with people and to give them Harinam, to give them books. And Prabhupada said, actually Prabhupada said 1.5 hour of your lecture, what would that do? What my book can do? So it's important to give books that can change lives, that can transform people's lives. So you have to give books. So who's going to take initiative to plan book distribution next time? Because we have not had one in a long time.
So one of our plans is to, in ICCT when we have the program, slowly we'll start doing it there also.
Yeah, so let's keep book distribution as our, chanting of holy names, your japa, your personal japa. Please improve, be serious, be sincere, be focused. No second thing, no mobile scrolling and anything else while you're chanting, and be fixed and absorbed. We have to remind each other, right, on a daily basis. Yug Dharma is not only established outside, it's also established inside, within our heart, within our home, within our congregation. Every so often we need to talk about that. So Mahaprabhu's appearance is the best time to become sincere, serious. He came, he's so merciful. He did not look at anybody's qualification. Patra na vichare, right? So he doesn't care about whether you're qualified or not. He gave it to everyone. So we have the jewel. Now let's value it. So his appearance is a call of, to wake up to the holy names, and holy names are the alarm. So we need to wake up. Okay. Okay. Online, are there any questions? Hare Krishna. Yes, Mata.
Question.
Ab set up kar lo tab tak. Diya, and if you have incense also. Yes, Mata.
Just that from your experiences, I was asking, when you are doing jap mala, right?
Oh, so they can hear.
So when you're doing jap mala, your mind keeps getting distracted, and you try to focus, and the process goes on. So, as devotees, what was your experience, or what helped you to, focus more,
Sure.
develop the taste for Harinam and doing the job? What helped all of you guys?
Let's hear from Prabhuji. What can you answer? Let's hear your before you go. Mataji, can you give him? I just want to hear from everybody.
So for japa, there are you have to start with preparation. So on the previous day itself, you don't want to go to bed late, because then you may not be focused the next day. So the preparation is very important. So if you watch a movie, those impressions come into your mind. So you try to not indulge in things that will take your mind away. So that's very important, the preparation. Then the place where you chant is important. So if you find a good place where you can be calm and peaceful, so using that place. Then the position you're in. So initially you can chant anywhere, like actually Mahamantra can be chanted anywhere, but if you focus chanting, you can do it in a good place, like with Tulsi Maharani, if you're there, and then you have pictures, or in the place of you worship, if you're sitting and chanting. So that really helps. Your posture, so another P. So place, posture. And then you need to be in a very prayerful mood. So that's another P, where you are praying that Lord, please accept me in your service. That's the mood you need to have. That like a child crying for mother. So you're like totally helpless, my Lord. I'm not the doer. You're the doer. Please help me serve you. So if you're in that mood, and you're in a prayerful mode if you're chanting, that really helps. And then pronunciation is important. You're not as time passes, your speed will increase. But if you can pronounce all the names of the Lord, really, so that you can hear. Mantra means you say and you hear, and that's how you're getting purified, because the Harinam is getting in through your ear. So you want to pronounce every syllable really well, and slowly you can increase your speed. So yeah, if you follow all this, then you'll have a wonderful japa. I can see you're very sincere. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. It's not easy to come here. Like both you, for example, Mataji, it's not easy to come to programs, to festivals, to temples, right? To celebrations. So thank you. We're grateful to all of you for inspiring. You want to share anything? I often say Prabhuji is like gopis, and now I think about Mataji and Prabhuji also, because it's not easy to come from Jackson, hour and a half drive, and for these programs to hear classes, and Prabhuji also, it's not easy, and you try, and it's like go. It reminds me, like, gopis used to run towards Krishna just whatever time they can find, and that means a lot to Krishna. That
For Japa, I think Prabhuji mentioned very nicely. Very inspired by Prabhuji, because I know he and other devotees, when we see them. So association is one more thing. The other thing I can add with that is association. If you chant in association, sometimes that is very powerful. We see sometimes japa circles people do, and or Prabhuji every day they have a japa call. It's a little too early for me, I think. But yeah, if we can chant in association that of other devotees, that is also very helpful. We did sometimes, at our house, we were planning to do it more often, like on weekends, at least once in a while, so that devotees can meet together and do japa. We'll probably start it again. That will also help. When
we can have one day or something where we can meet together, and that gives power to your own personal japa when you do it.
then next time you're doing, you can remember that power, that how you felt that time. That experience rejuvenates you the next time you're doing japa. So when we go for these spiritual meets in Vrindavan or other places, and we're chanting with the devotees, then sometimes those memories don't go away. The memory of that powerful japa comes back and back again. It helps you recharges you for the next japa.
And I think you just have to arrange your lifestyle, like your eating, your sleeping, like Prabhuji was saying. So you have to make space in your life for chanting. So what you put in your body, what you watch, right, what you hear, whose association you are, what thoughts you have in the day will affect your japa, quality of japa. So the more you are in contact with the world, the more news you're hearing, more people, unnecessary people you're talking to, unnecessary things you're doing, all those things will come to you at the time of japa. So if you can cut down on the unnecessary things, you will be more sober minded at the time of japa. Okay, we'll stop the call, or we'll stop the class. We'll start Aarti. Thank you so much, Ravi Prabhu, Devi. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
आप जला दो पहले।
जयो जयो गौरचंद्रे आरती